Now then, people, it's Joe or Leeds TV, and I'm back. We're back. Leeds United are back. We're back at Ellen Road this Saturday for what should be, in my opinion, a comfortable win against a very lacklustre Bolton side. But we shall see. It's been, like I say, it seems an age since we've done a video, not just myself, the rest of the guys. Obviously, I haven't done Monday Night Football for a couple of weeks as well. Family, stuff like that, you know how it is, so my apologies for that, but I'll be back with you this Monday, 100%. Few things to touch on, well, I say a few things. One big thing, Spygate, obviously, we finally had an outcome, £200,000 fine. At the time, came out, buzzing, take it all day. You don't want a points deduction. On reflection, is it a harsh amount? Probably, yes. But listen, Bielsa admitted to spying on, I don't know how many, was it 12? Between, I don't know, you guys tell me, 12 games have we played? 19 at the time, I'm not too sure. But we take it, we move on. Much like Bielsa said, I'm happy it's done. You know what I mean? I think there was a period of time, regardless of if we've broken any rules, I don't care what any Leeds fan says, there must have been a period of time where you start to wonder, shit man, this is taking long. Like, we know what the EFL's like, we know what Sean Harvey's like. Could they, you know, give us a points deduction? It genuinely could have been a possibility, you know. It's easy to come out now and say we didn't break any rules, which we didn't. But I was worried for a little period of time. Am I happy with the fine? The amount of it, probably not. Am I happy that it's done? Yes. And listen, it just puts two fingers up to them idiots that came out, you know, your Collymores and the rest of them. Keith Andrews, for example, if you haven't listened to Talking Shut, there was a good episode with Prutton this week, and they discussed it on there and how he came out. And some of the stuff he was saying was absolutely mental. If you remember at the time, with Darren Bent and stuff, it was absolutely crazy. So it's two fingers up to them as well. The fact that we've just been given a fine, because the way the guys went on, it was like they wanted Bielsa to have a citizenship done and for him to be sent back to Argentina and Leeds United to be wound up. That's what it felt like at times. But I'm glad it's done. Also, just wanted to touch, it's just come out now, if any of you haven't seen Pontus Jansson leading the Malmo fans tonight against Chelsea, leading them in the chants. If you haven't watched that, make sure you head over to the majority of social media. I've shared it on Facebook and I know it's on Twitter as well, and I've retweeted it. He's actually there singing with the Malmo fans and leading them in the chant, which is just quality. Top Pontus, we absolutely love him. And he's just a normal bloke, right? He's just like a normal bloke playing football for, you know, he loves Malmo and obviously he loves Leeds United as well, and that's why he eggs us up so much. So if you haven't had a chance to watch that, make sure you do. Now onto the game itself. Leeds v Bolton this weekend, 14 finals now, 14 games to go. It's coming to the business end. 3 games in 6 days, quite a packed a period for us. I remember doing an Instagram live, sorry, not an Instagram live, an Instagram story the other day. If you aren't following me on Instagram, please make sure you do, because I've started doing a lot more on there. At Wainman Joe _ or Leeds TV. And I'd said when we had the weekend off, I know we were out of the FA Cup, but was it really a positive thing? Yes, it's been nice to have the break, but now we have 3 games in 6 days. And in my opinion, I wish it was the other way around, in that we had West Brom first and finished with Bolton. Because I think come the West Brom game, we could be very tired. And obviously we know about the injuries, and we've had even worse news now that we know Kamar's out as well, which is absolutely gutting. So I sort of wish it was flipped the other way, you know what I mean? We start with West Brom full bill of health and raring to go, but obviously we've got Bolton, and that's the way it is. But for me, we need maximum points from the next 2 leading into the West Brom game. Obviously we've got Bolton at home, and then midweek we've got QPR away. You know, starting with Bolton, do I think we will win? Yes. And for me, we win well. I've listened to Conor's video, as we always do, and I get where he points is coming from. He's saying, you know, it's always a tight affair, and I know the guys at Talking Shut seem to think we'll get a different Bolton to which Norwich played. But for me, Norwich put 4 past them, and I do think we'll do something similar. The rest will have done loads for the team. The last time out against Swans, we were absolutely class, in my opinion. Up there with one of the best performances of the season. Obviously, up until when Ayling gave away the penalty. But I do think we will win, and I think we'll win well, especially if we get an early goal. History tells us in this fixture as well, we lead at half-time and full-time. In the last, I think it is, in the last 4 home games, we've been leading at half-time and full-time. So history tells us that as well. Team news then, onto the game itself, obviously, Roof. Big loss, massive loss. One of the players of the season for me. He's a totally different player to the player that we've seen last season. And to be fair, for his whole time at Leeds, he's just a totally different animal. He does so much for the team, so much running. Obviously, goals have dried up of late, but still, he does so much for the team. Will he be missed? Yes. And we're going to miss him for roughly around about 8 weeks. And it would hurt any side in the Championship. Hurt any side. So, am I concerned we're going to... You know, we're going to be without him? Yes. Do I think we can get by? Yes, I do. We've got through a lot worse. Let's be honest. We've had periods of the season where not just someone like... Where we've had half a fecking team out, it would seem at times, you know? Play square pegs in round holes. For me, Roberts is a decent enough replacement to come in for Roof. And I really like Tyler Roberts. I think he's very much like Roof. However, I think he's further on in his development at his age than what Roof was. And where he's playing in comparison to where Roof was playing tells you that, you know what I mean, in terms of the, I mean, Roof was at Oxford and stuff, or he may still have been at West Brom Youth at that time, because Tyler Roberts is still young, yeah? But, you know, like I've said, we've been through a lot worse, and I think we will get through this period, you know what I mean? We're lucky in that, you know, Paddy's now back and fit, and I think he'll start scoring goals. He's missed a couple of sitters recently, which surprised me, because obviously if you think back to when he came off the bench against Bolton, first touch goal, and then he plays at Borough and he misses that sitter, right? And he had opportunities as well. He had a header against Swansea that he probably should score as well. But we're getting back to a full bill of a team, you know, a full bill of strength. So, yes, I'm gutted, but do I think we'll get through it? Yes. I keep touching on it. I've said it all the time. It's our time. All these things of adversity, it just makes for better viewing and bigger and better accomplishment for Bielsa come the end of the year. And obviously, it looks like we're doing a Netflix Amazon-style documentary, much like the City one and the Sunderland Till I Die one. So hopefully, you know, all this is going to make for great watch, right? But yeah, it's going to be the same team that played Swansea. And that's why I think, you know, if we come out the gate the same way we did against Swansea, against a very poor Bolton side, for me, we win and we win well. Listen, I always put my opinions out there, and if we don't, then, you know, I'm up there for ridicule. It is what it is, but I genuinely think we get 3 or 4 against Bolton. But same team, as I've said before, apart from Tyler comes in for Roof, so that's Kiko Casilla, Ayling, Pontus, Cooper, Alioski, KP just in front, who, by the way, was unreal against Swansea. And honestly, like, what a performance by that boy. And I just absolutely love him. Then you've got Click, Roberts, Harrison out left, Pablo out on the right, and Paddy Bamford leading the line. Dallas comes back in as well. Dallas is going to be on the bench. Obviously, Izzy will be there as well. Further injury update, I think Barry Douglas plays for the under-23s tomorrow, so could he then be ready for a bench, or maybe ready for a start come Tuesday against QPR, because we are going to need to rotate in these games. Baradi, by all accounts, a few more games with the under-23s. Forshaw as well is going to miss the next 2. Does that include Saturday and Tuesday? So could he maybe come onto the bench or play a part against West Brom? And just finally Clark. So it turns out he had a virus. He's back in training. He's doing a lot of indoor running by all accounts. He'll be back out doing some outdoor running. But it's going to be a while yet before we see Jack Clark. But that's positive. You know, there's some positive. You know, you can see what is it? The sun through the trees is the saying, I think it is. But the guys are coming back, and it's pivotal that they do. Yes, it's wounding with lost Roof, but there's enough there, I think. Especially, we've got difficult games, but a lot of them are at home. You know, Sheffield United, West Brom, etc. Villa as well. Regardless of where Villa are, there's still a tough opposition. But I think it was Lee Sobert at the Yorkshire Evening Post did a piece, and we have the second best running to Norwich, so you know that's positive as well, guys. I know on paper, you know, football games aren't won, but that is positive. So Bolton then, quickly touch on Bolton. Poor side for me, very poor side. 23rd in the league for a reason, and a team we must beat. They've only won 3 on the road all season, which bodes well for us. Most recently, they won against Birmingham away. They won on the opening day versus West Bromwich Albion, and they've also won away at Reading, who were dog shite as well. But listen, normally, you know, I do check whoscored.com and stuff, and normally I look at some of the stuff and I think, yeah, it's pointless, don't really need to add. But I think between the last meetings with ourselves and Bolton, there's some quite decent statistics to come out of that. So we've won the last 6 against Bolton. We've been winning at both half-time and full-time in the last 4 home games. And we've seen over 2.5 goals in our last 3 home games against Bolton, which all bodes well. You know, coupled with the fact they're the lowest scorers in the league with only 21 goals, and they've conceded 51, which is one of the worst, if not the worst. So taking all that into account, it's a comfortable win for me. And you know, a lot of people might disagree. I see the QPR being a little bit more difficult, in all honesty. I think I'm more worried about that game, but we'll leave that for another day. But I think, yeah, but all them stats stand in Leeds' favour, and even league position. You've got to fancy us to win, but I think it's the manner in which we do it. Obviously, while we were having that rest last Saturday, and fucking Sheffield United and Norwich absolutely just schooled Reading and Bolton. And I think we do the same thing. I genuinely, and we need to. For me, we need to lay down a marker. We score early, and we win comfortably. If we play like we did against Swansea, we batter them. I genuinely believe that, and I'm gonna go for 3. I'm gonna go for 4-0. 4-0. Fuck it, it's our time, as we all know, and as I keep telling you. But yeah, I'm just excited to be back at Elland Road. I'm really excited for the next, you know, 6 days. I'll come Saturday. Some massive games, obviously, and we must win the next 2. Got to take maximum points, and then let's get one back over at West Brom. Come on. That's a massive game on a Friday night under the lights. The lads always won. For the last time we had a Friday game under the lights, we got battered by Norwich. Let's hope it doesn't go that way, you know, this time. It's going to be a busy period for all Leeds TV, as we've, you know, been quite quiet, obviously having the rest. So I'm really excited for that as well, because I love doing this stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, guys, leave your comments in the section below. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And from me and the team, thank you for your continued support. Marching on together. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. And I'll see you all Saturday. Peace.